Good evening. Police are hunting for more than $15 million that went missing after boxes of cash fell out of a vehicle transporting money for a bank, leaving bundles of $500 bills scattered across the busy road in Wan Chai today. Dozens of passers-by and drivers who scooped up the cash and fled the scene have been warned they will be in serious trouble if they don't return it. This footage posted on the internet shows the mad dash for cash by passers-by, including pedestrians, drivers, and passengers, in the middle of Wan Chai this afternoon. Pedestrians darted onto Gloucester Road to snatch bundles of banknotes, while taxi drivers were seen joining in the free-for-all. At around 1:50 this afternoon, police began receiving reports that there were huge amounts of banknotes scattered across the westbound lane of Gloucester Road. 3 boxes of the type used by armored cars transporting money were also spotted lying on the road. By the time armed police officers arrived and cordoned off 2 lanes, many people had already disappeared with the cash they'd picked up. Police ordered the remaining people to get off the road and had problems persuading some of them to obey. Staff from the security firm G4S were also at the scene. According to police, the money fell off a G4S vehicle transporting $525 million in cash for the Bank of China from Saiwan-ho to Changsha-wan. The back door somehow opened without the driver and 3 security guards inside noticing anything. 3 boxes broke loose and the cash, $35 million in $500 bills, was scattered all over the road. Officers found the seals of 2 of the boxes had been broken, apparently by the fall. Witnesses reported seeing dozens of people, some with armfuls of bundled notes, taking off from the scene. By the time it was over, police had recovered about $20 million, but more than $15 million was missing. Police warned that far from a matter of finders keepers, this was a serious crime.
The consequence, if any member of the public or any people pick up the cash, if he did not hand over the money to any police officer or police station and keep for their own use, he may commit the offense of theft. The consequence is very serious under the ordinance in Hong Kong. So please contact the police to give out any further information and hand over the money to pick up at this scene today.
Pictures have already started appearing on the internet claiming to show the missing money. Those who made off with the cash have been warned that the longer they keep it, the more serious the offense becomes. Spending the money or putting it into bank accounts or even transferring it out of Hong Kong will get them into further trouble. Police also have CCTV and media footage to help identify the culprits. The missing banknotes are brand new and police will track them down using their serial numbers. Accountants appointed by the High Court to manage ATV are looking for a white knight to save the station and ensure that staff are paid wages owed since November. They admitted the worst-case scenario would be the loss of ATV's license and the collapse of the company if staff from the news department stopped working next month. Emily Sue reports.
The 2 accountants appointed by the High Court to help solve the crisis at ATV faced the media this morning to discuss the difficult task ahead. Management and restructuring experts Derek Lai and Derek Hawhey of Deloitte China said they're looking for a white knight, business speak for an investor who will save the company by securing a controlling stake with the support of the board of directors. The pair claimed they already had a list of candidates, but made no promises.
Well, we need to get funding. I think the most obvious source at the moment, subject to the wishes and agreement of the shareholders, is from shareholders. But at this stage, the existing shareholders have not indicated that they're willing to provide funding. But as you said, there's still 7 days to go.
Staff have warned that the news department is facing a possible shutdown on the 1st of January if they're not paid by the end of this month, as that would mean they would be starting a 3rd month of work without pay. It's the 2nd time in 3 months that ATV has delayed salary payments to its 800 staff. September paychecks were delayed by 24 days, while staff are still waiting for their November salaries, which amount to $15 million. The court-appointed managers today urged the newsroom not to cease operations, as that would affect the station's free-to-air license. If ATV fails to broadcast 2 15-minute newscasts a day on both the Chinese and English channels, it could lose its license in the worst-case scenario, causing the station to collapse, as no one would buy it without a license.
So, trying to resolve the situation with the employees is a critical factor. I understand the employees have been waiting for their wages and salaries, but I hope they would see that the managers have been appointed and that they are trying to get funding. We haven't got it yet, but we need some time.
Earlier this month, the High Court ruled in favor of ATV's second biggest shareholder, Taiwan snack tycoon Tsai Ing-wen, when he accused the station of mismanagement and demanded the appointment of 2 independent supervisors to the station's board of directors. The court order requires the managers to find a new chief executive officer for ATV and an independent company to buy 10.75% of shares owned by Wong Peng-kun, the company's controlling shareholder. Tsai issued a written statement today declaring that since Wong had kicked his representative off the board in 2009, there is no longer a second biggest shareholder of ATV, which means he is not responsible for paying wages. Tsai said he genuinely hopes the dispute will be over soon, so the company can increase its chances of getting its license renewed. But with both Tsai and Wong unwilling to fork out money to pay overdue salaries, ATV's future remains in limbo.
ATV's executive director, Ip Ka-po, is not hopeful that staff will get paid before the end of the year, even if the station is rescued by a white knight. But he's confident the news department will not shut down on the 1st of January.
ATV's executive director Ip Ka-po took to the airwaves this morning to address public concerns about the crisis at the station. Asked about the possibility that new staff will stop coming to work from the 1st of January if their November salaries are not paid by the end of this month, Ip said there are contingency measures.
Under the licensing conditions that we only need to have 2 15 minutes of news between the 6 to 12 o'clock every night, so that we would source some more footage from other sources that can help us to have the film segment for the news content. And we would like to employ or to sourcing some freelancers to help us to smooth run the news department.
Ip did not explain how the station would pay for outside help when it doesn't have the money to pay existing staff. He also cast doubt on whether the 2 newly appointed managers can help lift the station out of its dire financial situation. Ip said their presence may actually drive away potential new investors.
At this moment, before we have a lot of interest buyers to want to buy the share of ATV, but now with these 2 accountants to be the non-executive director of ATV, and it seems that makes the deal a bit more difficulty.
Ip also admitted that even if new shareholders were to step in now, there aren't enough days left for them to pay staff before the 1st of January. Ip again urged shareholder Tsai Ing-wen to help with staff salaries. ATV's other major shareholders, Wong Peng-kun and Wang Zheng, have said they've already accomplished their historical mission by injecting more than $2 billion into the station over the past 5 years.
Hundreds of protesters marched from Wan Chai to government headquarters at Tamar today to continue the campaign for universal suffrage. The rally, organized by the student group Students Awaken, was noisy but peaceful. Protesters chanted slogans demanding genuine democracy and Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying's resignation. They were out to remind everyone that the umbrella movement is not over yet. As Christmas celebrations begin and the new year is just around the corner, revelers have been warned that not to rely on medication to cure hangovers after heavy drinking. ATV's An Chang reports.
It's the Christmas and New Year holiday season, and there will be plenty of drinking, of course.
But if you're relying on medication to prevent hangovers, think again. Pharmacists today warn that these alcohol metabolizers have exaggerated claims to reduce alcohol effects, delaying its absorption, increasing metabolism, and even protecting the liver.
We fail to see the evidence that's necessary to support the fact that public may want to use them to drink alcohol and still remain alert and conscious and not get drunk.
For those who must drink, the solution is simple. Use your common sense.
If you really need to drink, many times you would need hours for the alcohol effects to be eliminated from the body. So drinking lots of water and then trying to get some rest, and then also taking care of some symptoms, maybe some headache, vomiting, dizziness, with some palliative medications, and really stay away from driving and performing dangerous activities that require you to have really a conscious and alert mind.
Watch out for those painkillers too. If you have a hangover headache, as too much could cause liver problems. Ann Chang, ATV News.
In a dramatic plot reversal, Sony Pictures has decided not to scrap a new movie making fun of North Korea's leader. Hundreds of independent theaters across the U.S. will show the interview on Christmas Day in a move welcomed by President Barack Obama. ATV's Joyce Wu reports.
Sony Pictures has bowed again to pressure, but this time to Washington instead of hackers or terrorists or North Korea, depending on who's really to blame for the cyber attack